guys, welcome back to another creative aging program, and I want to let you know that this is the kit that I have been waiting for all year. I am so excited to do this today. I'm Sharon, I'm the Makerspace librarian here at the Rawlings Library, and today we're going to be making a glaze sweater. Magnets slash ornaments, probably ornaments, I don't think we have magnets in this particular kit. From Collective, and I'm super duper excited to do this because I think that they are hecka cute and I can't wait to get them started with you. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right in to making this amazing kit. So in your kit you have 4 of these little sweaters, so they're front and back. There'll be 2 different colors. You've got a bunch of different felt pieces that you can use to decorate your ugly sweater however you want to. You have spangles and stars and a bunch of different types of floss for embroidery and some fluffy stuff and hangers, which I think are just so darn cute. These little hangers here that you can hang your ugly sweater with. But we're going to go ahead and get started. So I am going to plan my ugly sweater out. I already planned it out before we started filming, but I'll show you what I want to do. So I'm going to take the felt pieces. So I think I'm going to have kind of a little off-center gingerbread fella because it's ugly. It's not supposed to be the cute. I mean, you can make yours cute, I suppose. Yeah, but the idea is to make it pretty bright and colorful and tacky and strange, which, in case anybody who is seeing this video has never met me before, that is totally what I'm about. So I think we're gonna do our ugly sweater kind of looking a bit like that with the felt pieces. And at this point, you're going to want to sew them on. I understand, you know, because I'm not a great seamstress either, that you might not be amazing at sewing, and that is totally fine. In this particular instance, I think you could get away with using some tacky glue to glue these down, just a little bit. And make sure that you're putting the tacky glue just kind of right in there in the body, or you're going to have a pretty big problem because it's going to make the fabric so stiff you're not going to be able to push your needle through it to put the decorations on, which would be a shame. All right, that's my public service announcement. The other thing to remind you of is that today, because we're doing things like working with spangles, when you're doing your floss, which is your embroidery thread, it comes twisted together in a strand of 6. And what you're going to want to do with this particular craft is, instead of using all 6, separate it out till there's only 3. Otherwise it makes it really, really thick to try to pull the needle and thread through the felt, and it won't go as far. Sometimes the holes in the spangles are a little bit small, so you don't want to use up all of that. Make sure you're separating out your floss. And also, if you wanted to say embroider some sort of Fair Isle or silly saying or something onto your sweaters, that is completely within the realm of possibility. We all know here that I'm not going to do that because, Lord help us all, I'm the world's worst seamstress. I swear I only just learned how to do French knots, and I was very thrilled with myself. Anybody who maybe watched the last video can attest. Sharon is now very excited that she knows how to do the French knots. All right, moving on here. So I'm going to pick out some of these little spangly pieces here for my gingerbread guy. Spangles, spangles, spangles. And I think I want him to have some buttons, some little buttons. And so the way that you can put your sequins on, again, is if you are pressed for time, you can sew them on. But the best way to do it is to, and I'm going to show you just on my gingerbread guy himself, is to go up through the middle of your piece, wherever you want your spangle to be. And have your thread like that. And then you're going to thread your spangle onto your needle. And like I said, sometimes these holes are small, and I have pretty thick needles, so that's something to keep in mind here. And put that there. And then you're going to take one of your beads and put that through your needle, and hopefully it'll fit. See, that bead doesn't even fit on my needle. Shoot. I might have to switch to a smaller needle, which will be a whole thing. And we may have to give up on spangles because I don't have a smaller needle. No, I have a bead with a bigger hole. Haha. Here we go. There we go. That bead went on. So then you're going to put the bead down there on top of your spangle, and then as I show you here, you're going to take your needle and then go back through the hole on your spangle, or sequin, I suppose they're also called, and pull that through, and there you are. Now your sequin is held on tight. And we'll go ahead and do that with our next one here. Pick a spangle. I think I like this one right here. And again, you can glue them. I think if I was not working with you guys, I would be gluing them, to be really honest with you, because that just is how I roll. But this is going to probably put together a much prettier result for you ultimately in the long run. Here's another bead with a really big hole. Put that on there. Go through the bottom. There we go. Now my little fellow has his gumdrop buttons. And he probably needs, let's see here. I'm gonna give him some little eyes, and hey, I can do my French knots. Look at that. Pull them through, and then the French knot, which is me holding that, wrapping that around carefully, and then going right back through. There's one eyeball for him. We'll do the other one too. I have to concentrate. I can't talk during French knots. Okay, there we go. Now he's got 2 eyeballs and some cute buttons. He probably needs a mouth. Being what it is, let's see here. Let's see what I can do. I'm gonna give him just a meh mouth. Why am I giving him just a meh mouth? Because it's 2020, friends. Meh. There we go. Now we can put our gingerbread on. Now you can either sew them on, or you can glue them on. But let's see here. Can I get him sewed on? I bet I can. Just nice and quick here. So what I'm not going to do is show you guys how to stitch the pieces together. At this point, I'm thinking if you've done any of my other classes before, you'll know how to do that. So what I'm doing here is kind of like a whip stitch. I'm pulling it through like this. But it's getting them stuck on there really nicely and neatly. Oopsies. Gotta be careful here. Pretty good at poking myself. But as you can see, that's how I'm gonna do this this gingerbread and get him on there. So he'll actually look pretty cute once he's done. And you'll do the same kind of thing for all of your fancy pieces there. And you can make it as creative as you'd like. And so what we're gonna do to sew it together is very similar to what we did to sew together the gingerbread guys last week. So I actually have one of those gingerbread guys to show you. And let's see here. There it goes. This is, I think you either love sewing or you hate it, and it's not my fave. I'm not particularly an amazing sewer, unfortunately. I think you have to be a bit more detail oriented than I am to do it well. But these kits are just so cute, and it really makes me want to bust out my cross stitch that, you know, I did a million years ago and that is not finished. I talk to lots of people and they say, oh, we have a cross stitch that's not finished. Makes me feel better. I'm not the only one. He's not sitting on there very straight. All right, so I think you guys can get the idea here of how you put the spangles on. And there's lots and lots of different types of spangles. There's stars, and you would just sew this fellow on down there if you wanted, or glue him. Same with this. Same with this. All right, to put it together, I'll just show you this part really quickly. What you're gonna do is take, you know, it can be the other color if you want it. I don't know whether that would be a fantastic idea. But you'll put the two together, and then you'll whip stitch, which is like this. All around the edge, and as you get a part that's sealed off, you'll put your fluffy stuff in it, or not. You don't have to put your fluffy stuff. I mean, I actually kind of like the way that it just sits just like that, but if you need to have it stuffed like there's a body in there, there's fluffy stuff for you. I don't think it's necessary, but as you go. So yeah, to show you the difference, here's one of my things that's been stuffed, and it's meep, 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 squishy. I mean, if nobody's wearing the sweater, there's no need for your sweater to be squishy, right? So I don't think it necessarily needs stuffing, but you'll continue to whip stitch around here, and my stitches are not terribly careful, and for that I apologize. You could use contrast color like I am doing right now, because it happens to be what I've got on my needle, or you can use matching colors. It is completely up to you and whatever's been provided in your kit. It's kind of a grab bag in there, so you may not actually have a color that matches your kit, and that is totally okay. But you'll keep whip stitching around the edges of your sweater, and when you get to the top, what you're going to want to do is untie couple of your little hangers here. I'm always so impressed with Melissa at Collective because she puts all these kits together for us, 30 of them every time, and that is really impressive. So you'll want to cut this in half because it's enough for 2 kits to be hung. So just half right there. And then you'll tie this onto your hanger. And how you want to do that is up to you. There's all sorts of different ways you can tie something on, but I'm probably just going to do the cheater way. Do a really big overhand loop. And then pretty much just loop this around the hanger here, so that, as I say this, man, everybody should know that knots are not my thing at this point. Now, and that's where I fell down and could not finish the program. Nah, I'm kidding. I got it. So just like that, And then what you'll do is you'll sew your hanger inside those two pieces of felt, like that. And you'll just, what I would recommend doing is whip stitching around it. So you'll go in between, there we go, in between the felt here, you can see, and then you're going to go through the hanger, not through the cord, and then whip stitch around like you normally would, so that it is held in there nice and tight and your hanger won't go anywhere. And then you'll do the same on the other side so that it's nice and secure. All right, and then you'll have enough for two. Put my somewhat mangled, normally I would be taking a lot more care, but in order for me to do the entire thing, it's going to take a pretty long amount of time, and we try to keep this to under 20 minutes here and as our demo videos. But if you have any questions about what you saw, feel free to drop me an email, sharon.rice@pueblolibrary.org. Or if you happen to see that this is a kit that you're interested in grabbing, please send an email as well. I have 5 or 6 kits left. And that's pretty much that for today. Hope to see you next time. I think we've got Shannon coming in next time to do her stamping kits for the holidays. So until I get to see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep making. Have a great evening. Bye.